the tri-state, you can find amazing local artisanal foods, from Moroccan-inspired cookies to craft coffee brews. And everyone knows you can get a tailor-made suit at the iconic New York company Brooks Brothers. But what you may not know is that you can also get a custom-made bike right here in New York. On an industrial block in South Williamsburg is where you will find Thomas Callahan hard at work. Sawing, shaving, and soldering. Having moved to New York with a degree in English Lit and Sculpture, he first pursued a career in the fine arts. But he found himself fascinated by engineered sculpture, which led him to build his first bike.
When I rode that first bike I built, it was so special, and there's such a connection there. I wanted to continue to do it, to give that connection to other people. All the bikes are made from scratch. Every single bike is completely different. Every single design is completely different.
Just as if you were going to have a suit tailor-made, Thomas takes all your measurements, including your inseam, your height, and even weight, to come up with the perfect fit. Besides rave reviews from his clients, his bikes are extremely good-looking, but can cost a pretty penny. Frames start at $1,700. But Thomas is working on a collaborative project to manufacture urban tour bikes, super rugged and super light, great for commuting, which he will sell for about half the price. And he hopes to do that in his very own bike shop one day. But how do you come up with the name Horse Cycles?
Just because I always wanted to be a cowboy, I guess, and like a cowboy, I get on my bike every day. You know, obviously a cowboy rides a horse, so this is just my way of appropriating that kind of old-timey thought.
And parked right next to his figurative trusty Tonto is his handcrafted surfboard, which is just a hobby for now. Now, bikes aren't the only means of transportation made in the tri-state. For the outdoor adventure seeker, if your idea of a good time is paddling up the Hudson, you can even find a handcrafted kayak made in New York. In the warm weather months, you can spot Daniel Fowler and his wife paddling up the Hudson and disembarking at Atlantic kayak tours. But all year long, you'll find him spending hours in his garage hand-making wooden kayaks.
In terms of hours, the boat like that one there, it's about 110 hours. This one here is all stripped. This is going to be double that.
It all began when he was in search of a new boat and wasn't satisfied with the plastic hulls he was finding. So he decided to make a go of it. But it wasn't easy.
The hardest part is when you have to bend and twist the strips for them to fit together. The third boat that I built, it's all cedar. It's got a cedar strip hull. And in some cases, the wood has to go from horizontal to vertical in about a foot, and then it has to twist. What I end up doing is steaming it with a steam iron. Very crude, but it's effective. And then you got to hold the strips in place while the glue dries.
Like many of the craftspeople we've met making this show, Daniel hopes to make his newfound passion his profession.
Started out as a hobby. I acquired a lot of tools. I mean, you can see over here I have a box full of about 100 clamps. Once you have all these clamps, you got to keep building boats.
Coming up, we are cruising in search of a shop that sells all locally made goods, from honey to hats. Plus, Toni on Trivia. If you weren't born in New York, you may not know what iconic New York cookie was created and made in this former factory that now houses the Chelsea Market. Answers on Facebook at the end of the show.